down the streets and I'm puffing on a doobie. Shorty riding shotgun, I'm grabbing on a
Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy D Nally, aka Don Squally, and today we are back with another Forza Horizon build video, man. We starting out that Chevy Nova looking real sexy. But for today's video, we are going to be building, in my opinion, one of the absolute legends in the Chevrolet fleet, man, and that, in my opinion, has got to be that 1996 Impala SS, baby. Now, for those of you guys who are subscribed to my other channel and have been for a long time, a lot of you guys may know that I was a huge GM head, had a 03 Impala LS with that 3.8 liter. For me, it was just a great car and I absolutely loved it, but the holy grail of Impalas for me and my generation have got to be that 1996 Impala. Now, over the time of me having my car, it was always one of my goals to own this before I became a Nissan fanboy, of course, because then once I realized the superiority of Japanese products over American products, all my opinion kind of changed, but I still very much love this car. Now, of course, those of you guys who know, as in Forza, in real life, these cars are a little bit expensive, cost a lot of money to find and buy in good condition. So one of the other options that I had in mind was buying an old school 96 Caprice and doing the whole SS swap on it. Of course, you guys know me. I do that with pretty much all my cars, the Acura, the Altima, SER swapped. 3.5. I think we're gonna stick with that 5.7 stocky here, and that was just one of my thoughts to find an old Caprice, since it would probably be a lot cheaper. But obviously I'm a Nissan boy now, so we're gonna have to build it in a video game. Now we're gonna stick with the 5.7 liter, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw a supercharger on this bad boy. Now, twin turbos would be pretty cool, but let's be honest, with American cars, superchargers are just a much more realistic way to go. So we're gonna go ahead, drop on some, what is this, side skirt? I can't even tell what that's doing right now. Oh, that is for the cop lights. We're not gonna be building a cop car, though we may in the future. But for today's video, we are just gonna stance this bad boy out, make it sit nice, look nice, and be a little bit quicker than it already is. Now, for this build, a lot of guys, they want to lower it, put nice muscle car wheels on it. But for me, in the point of my life that I was in when this car was like at pretty much the top of my list, it was always my dream to throw some nice chrome 21s or 22s on this bad boy and just rock out, have a little bit of power, and just have this thing looking absolutely sick. So I think for this build, that's probably what we're going to do. I'm going to try to find a nice clean set of wheels that look classy, not tacky. And I'm going to get back to you guys when I find that. And because I have always been a big fan of those 5-spoke with the nice deep dish, we are going to go with these ADV track functions. I think once we beef up the wheel diameter, give these a nice chrome look as opposed to polish, this thing is going to look fresh. Now 19s, 20s, it looks like 21s is probably going to be the biggest that we can go on this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and install those both front and back. Now, with these cars, stancing it out and having the tire poke out was never a huge issue. Like back then, like when you got them sticking out like that, it's just not going to work. With these cars, they got to be in and tucking underneath that fender once you slam it. That, in my opinion, has just always been the way to go. Now, obviously, stancing it out, getting a lot of poke, very common nowadays, but we're going to do an old school 96 build as though I would have built it when I was in high school. So we're going to go ahead, take care of all the power and drivetrain accessories here. Upgrading that clutch. I'm going to upgrade the transmission just so I can kind of mess around with the gears a little bit. We are going to drop on a differential. Make sure that those back wheels are spinning equally to get, you know, some nice drifts going here. And now comes the engine build. We're not going to do too much with this one. I'm going to go ahead, throw on the intake, the exhaust. I am going to throw on some cams here just so we can get that nice high RPM that, you know, we rarely get from these old school muscle cars. And then we are going to beef up that supercharger. Right now we're looking at about, let's see here, 354 kilowatts, which equates to right around 470 horsepower, which is a relatively good number for this car. It is old, it is heavy, but to be honest, that's enough for a car like this. We forgot to do the brakes and the suspension here, so I'm gonna go ahead, throw those on right now. We are gonna slam this bad boy as low as it can go. I just love these cars, super mafioso, and when you lower them just right, maybe even a little more than this one's lowered right now, they just look absolutely perfect. We're gonna go ahead, throw those anti-roll bars on, both front and back. Now that we got that all out of the way, we are ready to hit the paint booth with this thing. But I guess before we do that, we'll take care of the tuning. Switch up that gearing. Now, for me, you can see we've got 6 gears now. We're going to go a little more acceleration. I mean, this is a big car. It's heavy, so if this thing can top out right around 300 kilometers an hour, I'll be happy. I'm going to take care of that alignment and ride height. We're just going to go ahead, slam this thing as low as it'll go. I don't really need any negative camber. These old school muscle cars, in my opinion, just look the best with a nice square setup. And I think that's going to be pretty much it to get the stance exactly where we want it. And now we can head to the paint booth here. Now for me, I know these Impala SS's only come in black, but for some reason, I was just always a fan of these in a nice, kind of lightish forest green color. Definitely none of these colors. You guys know the Caprices came in a lot of these kind of old man colors. And I just think with the green, none of these greens. We're going to have to fine tune this. But let's go ahead, check out a couple other colors here. Obviously red, a big favorite as well. Let's see, candy apple red with the chrome wheels on it. I don't know, man. I kind of want to see that green, so I'm going to go ahead, try to fine tune this color. If I can find something that I like, we're going to go ahead, throw that on here. This looks okay, but I think we can probably do a little better. What I think I might do is see if I can find like a nice flake here. Not exactly what I had in mind, but I think we're getting a little bit better. Go ahead and switch up that flake color just a little bit. Yeah, boy, right there. Not exactly the color that I had in mind, but I think for a green car, this thing is looking sick. So we're going to go ahead, install that on our current car. Of course, we got to tint out those windows. All the gangsters back in the day had them tinted up windows. And we're going to go ahead and completely chrome out these wheels. So I'm going to use aluminum polish just to get that nice OG look. And I'm pretty happy with the way this thing is sitting right now. Looks good. One thing that I might change is maybe the little rivets around the wheel, as well as the red calipers. On something like this, you don't really need them. These cars were never meant to be ricey like that. Just nice, simple, classy, which I think we have achieved here today. Would have liked to seen them 22s on here, but nonetheless, looking fresh. Now that 5.7 liter stock motor, nothing really, to smile about. Kind of boring, kind of plain. But as you can see, cams and a supercharger on here. We're getting those high RPMs. Really giving this car a little bit of sauce. And it is booking it, man. Now, I'm happy I didn't end up going with that engine swap, because to me, the engine swaps are just not realistic. It costs a lot of money to do an engine swap these days. Maybe not in a car like this, because things were much simpler in the engine bay. You could probably drop an LS in this thing relatively easy. But, I mean, cost-effective wise, nowadays, it's just all about slapping on some forced induction, maybe a turbocharger, supercharger, and just reefing the benefits. Engine swaps, especially for me with the Nissan G35 engine swap, can be done to, like a HR uprev. The Altimas get that second gen DE motor swap relatively easy, but I mean, in my heart, I'm a boost boy. I want to see one, if not all of my cars boosted at some point. But let's be honest, man. You need to have money in the bank for that. And, you know, you got to have a lot of time. And I don't have much of either at this point in my life. But this thing absolutely hauling through the gears. Getting that extra little bit of RPM with the cams, in my opinion, is a must. You got to take care of that just to, you know, really open this car up and reap the complete benefits of what this thing is capable of. We're just gonna tear into the city here. We are currently online, actually, which I don't normally do videos online because sometimes people you know, tend to just follow you around and kind of wreck your little videos. But for this point in time, we're looking pretty good, man, which is not too bad. If you guys do ever see me online, it's winter time. Winter is coming. And to be honest, here in Canada, playing video games is one of my favorite pastimes in the wintertime. So if you guys do see me pop online from time to time, definitely join up the squad. Come roll with your boy, man. We are taking this thing off-road. Probably not, you know, my first plan for recording this video. But what I think we're going to do is just rip back to the city here. Take a couple of glamour shots for the thumbnail of this video. Where are we going here, man? Let's take it down. No, I don't really like this area. Take it down. No. I'm going to be honest. This is probably my favorite area of the map. I just like having the buildings and scenery in the background. Kind of spruce the video up a little bit. And of course, it is starting to rain right when I need to take my thumbnail screenshot. We still got a little bit of sunshine here. Hopefully we can get some of that fleck in the shot. A little bit of that fleck. So yeah, with that being said, I am your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally. If you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button if you guys want to see more. And you are not subscribed yet, you know what to do, man. You know the drill by now. YouTube is, you know, it's been around for a while. So if you don't know how to use it, man, you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. We are flying, ladies and gentlemen. The car here is flying where it's parked currently. It's just to make things look a little more genuine. I'm gonna move to a place where it's not flying. That's better. And of course, put an end to this one. So with that being said, I am your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Recovery of a lifetime. Oh fuck! Oh no! Oh! Fuck! Yeah, just keep on rolling there. Yeah. Don't worry about the racer or anything.